I'm Jeff Schwartz and we're here for another shop update video, in this case December. So let's go see what we got going on this month. Since last month we've shipped out a few completed projects and we've gotten some new stuff in. By the way, if you need a project build or fabrication work, we do have openings in our schedule. We added some more manpower a couple months back, so let us know if you need any of this type of work. But anyway, this gentleman has this Nova here that is quite quick and it's set up for drag racing. Someone stretched these fenders many years ago and they don't really look proper. So there's kind of like an angle in here and this lip around the edge is not even all the way around. They raise the wheel well and stretch it, which is common in a drag race application. So we're going to put new quarters on here. There's a little bit of rust in the trunk pan. We're going to repair that with a new panel, and we're going to basically redo this stretched area here and make it a little smaller so it just barely clears the tires, and also have it have the factory look all the way around the edge. So that's what we're doing on this one. And we're also going to do like a slight little mini tub up against the factory frame rail in there. Another new project that came in is this 66 Chevy 2 Nova, and what we're doing here is we're doing a mini tub on it and also a chassis installation. On the Chevy 2 Novas, as you know, we're a pioneer in the bolt-in full frame for unibody cars, and our chassis bolts right to this factory flange here where the original unibody bolted to. However, our rails go parallel to the factory rails under the floor all the way to the back and go into the rear leaf spring pocket on this one. So it's a full frame that bolts into this unibody car, and we'll be mini tubbing it and installing that in the next couple of weeks. This is another Nova project that came in. It was built somewhere else and they've been having some difficulty trying to diagnose driveline vibration. So we're going through everything and checking out every possible scenario, and we should have this thing diagnosed here shortly and be back on the road riding smooth. This is my 1978 Porsche 924 D production vintage road race car. My friend Pete did most of the work on this. However, I tested it at Blackhawk Farms Raceway last month and everything worked perfectly. Now we're just dialing everything in, making sure it meets all the safety regulations. It did not have a window net in it at this time, so we put a new window net in there. And the bumpers were fiberglass ones that we had purchased for lightweight, but they had not been paint matched. So those are now being paint matched. We extended our front splitter under the front end to the cross member to smooth out the airflow, and it should be ready to race the big vintage race at Road America next year, or maybe even the Monterey Historics. This is the early Mustang coupe that I showed you last month, and we've replaced all the rusty parts. We've done a trunk pan and floor pans, and looks like all the rust repair is pretty much done now. We've test fitted the chassis, and we've got a little bit of grinding to do on some plug welds here, and then we'll be moving on to the next step. This is the all-wheel drive Challenger project, and we've been working on sheet metal work inside the car. So wheel tubs and floor area, fabricating that stuff. We got the seat in there in position. We're now waiting for a couple of parts, a front motor plate and some other things, and then we can continue on this one once those parts get here. Well, we've got the engine position all dialed in that we were working on last month for getting the mechanical fan to be centered in the fan shroud. And there were some holes that someone had cut up here in the cowl area, so the owner wanted those filled, and then we're putting a vintage air in here, and there was a flange there from the factory heater box, so we cut that off here and fabricated this panel that's been tacked on there, and we still got to do a little more welding, but we'll have the AC hoses coming through the inner fender here to the vintage air unit. Those will all be hidden and out of the way, be kind of a clean looking installation. So onward on this one, and we'll see where we're at next month. This is that 57 Chevy convertible that we were putting the chassis in, And we've done some prep work here on the firewall in preparation for painting this. We're not painting the whole car, we're just painting the firewall, doing some bed lining under the car where we had mini tubbed it, and then it's going back on the new chassis with the LS powertrain. So let's go take a look at the chassis. And this is the chassis for the 57 Chevy convertible. We've got the 335 tires out back, we've got the stainless steel gas tank, the ceramic coated stainless steel exhaust system is installed here. This has V-bend flanges that I pointed out on one of my reels, along with a flex joint for expansion contraction right off of the headers. This one has a 4L75E in it, and it's a LS3 here with the retro kit. Still got to put the chrome valve covers that the customer wanted on there, and these tubes need to go out for powder coating. This is the 57 Ford project we've been working on. We got it media blasted just yesterday, and we're about to get it into the paint booth and spray some epoxy primer on there to keep anything from rusting. And then it's going on to the body shop to get a beautiful black paint job. This is the engine for that 57 Ford. As I was showing you last month, we were fabricating an intake manifold to take the throttle body and the factory dual quad air cleaner and make it look like a Ford 312 Thunderbird V8. So we've got that all fabricated now, got the air cleaner on there, and from up above it looks like the 312 Thunderbird V8. We've also got the Thunderbird V8 valve covers on here as well. This is a Megazil engine, 611 horsepower, pushrod Ford engine. As you can see, this Hellcat powered Challenger has some white wrap material on there to prevent stone chips. That's because we've been driving around on the road lately. We had the graphics guy out and he measured for the stripes, so he's going to be creating the TA-like stripes with the Hellcat logo in them. We also need to get this to the interior. Some of the interior is in process already, and this will go to the interior shop shortly and get everything wrapped up on the inside. So almost at the finish line. This Hellcat powered Cutlass has fired up and runs now, and we are going to be driving around on the road once we get the glass in the car. And we're expecting 7 inches of snow this weekend. So we got to have clean roads, glass in the car. We've got a few more wiring bits to do as far as the dash. We've got the Dakota cluster in there and have to button that up, and then it'll need some interior at some point. This Corvette project ended up having a problem with the transmission. So fortunately, GM was gracious enough to warranty that transmission. We now have the new transmission in it. We are waiting for the console that we fabricated to get back from the upholstery shop so we can put that in there. And then this needs a alignment and the convertible top installed and a final dyno tune. And then it should be ready to roll. There is a couple of paint defects that also need to get fixed that were in it prior to it coming here, and I forgot to mention that as well. So almost at the finish line on this one as well. I know you haven't seen this baby in a while. This is the 70 Roadrunner with the Ray Barton old school big Hemi with the dual quads on it. It is now painted, as you can see. We are test fitting the Billet Specialties wheels, and we're deep into the wiring and getting it ready to run. This is our Bronco chassis that we showed you last month. We now offer four-wheel drive chassis for all the C10 Chevy pickups as well as the Ford F100. We're also going to be doing a Ford F1 all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive chassis here in the near future. So those are all available to order right now. And this is a first-generation Bronco. It's got a Dana 44 up front and a 9-inch in the back. And for heavy duty applications, we can do a Dana 60 up front. But this one's getting a Coyote engine with the 10-speed automatic. It should be quite a peppy little machine. This one also is getting the long travel Fox remote reservoir shocks for the ultimate and smooth ride. It'll ride like a modern Ford Raptor type truck, but you got the old retro body, and this is a real 69 Bronco. This is that Eleanor style Mustang that we built several years ago. It came in for a few little things that needed to be fixed and adjusted, and it is now ready to be sold. I believe this is going to be listed on Bring a Trailer. However, if you're interested in it and want to get it before it goes on there live, you might be able to make a deal on it. So call Zach at the office if you're interested in this thing. It's a beautiful car with the supercharged Coyote, Schwartz G machine chassis underneath there. Drives like $1 million and makes like a gob of power. Anyway, that is all we have for this month. Stay tuned for next month's video. Hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to check out our reels on Instagram and Facebook and other social media. We get over 1 million views a month on the reels, so most of them are informational in nature, or information about our product or how to build a car and so forth. So check them out and have a safe and happy holidays. Merry Christmas.